We're binging Netflix. We're binging YouTube videos about cats and try not to laughs and all the rest of it. We're not filling our mind with anything nutritious, nothing that's really going to benefit us. What's up, guys? I hope you're well. I want to talk to you today a little bit about your diet. Not what you're eating, not what you're drinking, but what you're consuming into your mind. Your information diet. I think a lot of people, and good meaning, well-intentioned, we're talking, productive people, positive people, their diet sucks. They're consuming way too much of the wrong stuff and not enough of the right stuff. They're binging. And this word is literally associated with the way we consume media now. We binge watch our favorite TV show. Binging, that's consuming way more than you need. It's consuming it all in one go with no breaks. And this is what we're doing, but we're not binging, books. We're not binging productivity audio tapes. We're audio tapes, audiobooks, podcasts, none of this. We're binging Netflix. We're binging YouTube videos about cats and try not to laughs and all the rest of it. We're not filling our mind with anything nutritious, nothing that's really going to benefit us. And it's just like food. It's exactly the same. All this stuff that we're watching and consuming, it doesn't provide any nourishment to our mind. It doesn't give us anything to think about. It doesn't help us to develop in any way, shape, or form. It's just makes you happy. Just makes you feel good. It just lets you relax. And it's all the same with food. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a donut. There's nothing wrong with enjoying cake, milkshake, whatever junk food that you enjoy. And maybe junk food might be even a bad word for it. Whatever you like to consume, there's nothing wrong with it. Except when you consume it all the time. When that's your go-to and you don't eat anything real. You don't eat any healthy protein sources or complex carbohydrates or vegetables and fruits with micronutrients and vitamins and minerals and fiber, and drink water. It's all lemonade and Coke and a kebab and burgers, and you get the idea. There has to be the correct balance. When it comes to eating, we all know we should mostly eat food that is nutritious. It doesn't mean it can't be delicious. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. But if you're always eating high sugary snacks, well then a salad is not palatable to you. Your palate's been wrecked. And it's the same. If everything you watch is entertainment, everything makes you laugh, everything's bright and colourful and always changes, well then listening to me just talk straight to a camera for 10 minutes is going to be very hard for you to pay attention to. You're not going to have the focus levels or the attention span for it. Or reading a book. It's just not going to be entertaining. Nothing moves. What, I have to use my imagination? You don't know what that is anymore. You haven't needed it because everything's been imagined for you. It's processed. Everything is done for you. You don't have to do any of it yourself. You don't have to cook any of it up. Same as food. So you not only do you need to detox your diet, less of all of this stuff, less Netflix, less YouTube, less TV. But you need to then, there's going to be a huge void, a huge gap. And that gap needs to start being filled with the right stuff. Read books. You can still read fiction if you want to read fiction, but read it, consume it. Let your mind have to imagine what's going on. But really, try to consume books that are going to teach something, that are going to bring something new to you, that are going to help you to develop as a person. And it can be on tons of different topics. It doesn't need to be business books, okay? You might read a parenting book, learn how to be a better parent, get some ideas on how to raise kids differently. Nutrition. Personal development is part of it. Productivity, how to have your house, feng shui, whatever you want. But start filling your mind and exposing yourself to things that are going to turn you into the kind of person that you want to be. And again, I'm going to keep using this food analogy because I think it really sums it up well. You hear people all the time and they say things like, yeah, I want to have a six-pack, or I want to be lean, I want to be healthy, but I just love donuts so much. I just love pizza so much. Well, then it's not going to happen, because what's associated with the body that you want is these foods, these healthy foods. I'm not going to name specific foods because we're going to get into that whole thing of veganism versus vegetarianism versus eating meat, and that's not for today's video. This is a video on information. You need to eat certain foods, you need to eat a certain way to have a certain physique, to have a certain look. And if you're not willing to do that, then you are willing to have a different physique for the benefit of eating this food. And it's the same. If you want to be someone who is productive, who is energetic, who is intelligent, who, is, I don't necessarily want to say successful, because successful is something very subjective, but there's far more chance of that happening if you're consuming the right kind of information and the right kind of media. Yes, you need to be the thing before you even reach it. You want to be healthy, well then at one point you're going to have to be fat and eat salad. You understand? There's going to be a day where you're eating all the right foods, but you're still a big fatty. Nothing against people who are overweight, by the way, but I'm taking this from this extreme example to make it very clear to you. There's going to be a day where if you want to learn more about business or learn more about productivity, that you're going to be the ignorant one in the room. You're going to be listening to it for the first time going, I don't really get this, or this is a bit boring. But you need to consume enough of it, and you need to do it over a long enough period of time to see significant change. When I started with reading non-fiction books, I struggled. I could read maybe a chapter, maybe two, and I didn't feel like any of it went in. And I know a lot of people who describe this to me. They go, yeah, I'd love to read more personal development books, but I just can't. I can't pay attention. I can't focus. But it's the same. It's exactly the same. It's hard to, when you stop eating all the junk food, you start eating salad. Salad doesn't taste great. But do it for long enough. You know what? I really enjoy salad. I think it's delicious. I enjoy the taste of a tomato, of cucumber. I think these things are great. But I've had time to break away my palate. And also, this is the beauty of it really, when you watch this other stuff now, when you consume this junk food, you might get some joy and entertainment from it, but it's not the same. Because you're like, well, yeah, all right, I've had my fun. I've eaten my dessert. I've watched my TV show. Let's get back to some real food. Let's get back to some real information. So today I'm really trying to get through to you about balance. It's not about now you need to go to the other extreme, although some of you do, because some of you maybe don't read at all, don't consume anything, and then, hard love, you need to get on with it, okay? But for most of us, it's just a case of making sure that we are more over here, yes? Things that are going to nurture us and benefit us, and less over here. This is a reward, it's a treat, it's a special occasion. It doesn't become that when it becomes your day-to-day, your all the time. And this is if you're frustrated. So if you're frustrated at a position that you're in life, it's probably because you're leaning too far one way and not enough of the other. You need to engage with the activities and the practices that are going to make you the kind of person that you want to be. Knowing that when you initially engage with them, it's not necessarily going to mean that you are now that person. It's going to take time. But you need to start. You need to have that start point, and it needs to be maintained consistently over time to get you there. So take a look at your information diet, please. Take some time, break out your hours that you spend in front of a screen or with headphones in, and what you're consuming. And try to be a bit more intentional with it and listen to things that are truly going to nurture and benefit you. And as always, take care of yourself.